やってみよう勝ちましょう夢を諦めないでよ星を伸ばす空に飛ぶ届きましょう繋がった僕の犠牲と汗がここぎ出させて人々を疑って侮辱してけど無視して不安の感情障害と痛み僕が動かせないけど夢と野心届くため振動で動かして風が強く吹いてる暖かさを与えている輝く星届くまで全力で飛ぶこの希望に満ちた夢に戦うのやめませんこの導く光を元気づける
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ath Geeks, where athletes and geeks collide. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend. We have 4 more anime to go over. We got Ranking of the Kings, Treasure Chest of Courage, the Aristocrats, Otherworldly Adventure, Serving Gods Who Go Too Far, the Ancient Magus Bride Season 2, and Oshi No Ko. Let's jump right into it because I know y'all are ready for Weed Wednesday just like I am. First off, we have Ranking of the Kings, Treasure Chest of Courage. Last year's best boy has returned and is ready to defend his title. This is an interesting return, seeing how it isn't a continuation rather than a multitude of side stories that happen in various time periods during the original series. Think of something similar to Slime Diaries to a certain extent, with it being the side story and just adding more context. It works for both parties, seeing how well the series did originally. The company continues to ride the hot wave and bring in more revenue, while at the same time, us consumers are able to gain more detail and more insight and character development for our cast. We see Despa and Boji out to send Boji out to the workforce to earn money and learn more about the kingdom and society, because a king is more than someone who's just combat strong. As one could assume, this is a tough hurdle for Boji to overcome, since he's unable to hear or speak, obviously. But being resourceful, they find a perfect way to earn money until he is met with a tough decision. And this is where the training kicks in. Once his training has been completed, he sets out on a journey and to return to the kingdom to save his people, as we know he did. Helling also received screen time with her journey to gather powerful allies to assist in saving the kingdom as well. So this one is definitely interesting. It's a different look. Watching those first 3 episodes, it reminded me of how much I love Ranking of the Kings. And honestly, it made me want to go back from episode 1 and rewatch it all over again. Next, we have the Aristocrats Otherworldly Adventure, Serving Gods Who Go Too Far. So let me start off by saying this one is solid. As a normal watch, however, me as an isekai appreciator, I really enjoyed this one. I enjoy when isekai start with a protagonist as a child and we get insight on his family life. I enjoy the early world building and seeing our main character grow up before our eyes. I am already caught up in the manga, which isn't too long, so the anime should catch up to where I'm currently at no time soon. In this one, we follow our main character who was isekai'd after saving 2 young girls from an assault attack, just to find out that if he had done nothing, the assaulter was going to trip and be arrested. Appreciating his sacrifice and feeling a certain connection that will be touched on later, the gods give him every broken ability, making him a demigod and the strongest being outside of the gods. It has shades of another isekai this season, in another world with my smartphone, with an OC main character with a growing harem that, unlike others where they don't, reciprocate the feelings, he's already destined to marry them. All in all, this is a chill anime that has its comedic moments, such as the running gag that many isekais have, where they underestimate the main character until they show how powerful they truly are. Next, we have one that I can't give you a true review to this one, but it is the Ancient Magus Bride season 2. I actually never watched past the first 3 episodes of this series originally. I don't remember what happened at the time, but I never picked it back up. Honestly, that happens a lot with me binging so many animes. I see why this series is returning for a season 2. However, this is not one I would have watched if not for wanting to review season 2. Roughly 4 or 5 episodes in, I begin to lose like interest, not due to the fact that the series is lacking. Rather, it's not the sort of anime I would usually follow. The concept is interesting, and the love story it is creating is one I've not experienced before. But it just couldn't keep my attention. Maybe due to the other series that were getting ranked with it, with Ranking of the Kings being a fan favorite, Aristocrats following a common isekai trope, but still being entertaining, and then the next series we're about to review. Lastly, we have Oshi no Ko. When a pregnant young starlet appears in Girl Amara's countryside medical clinic, the doctors take it upon himself to safely and secretly deliver Ai Hoshino's child so she can make a scandal-free return to the stage. But no good deed goes unpunished, and on the eve of her delivery, he finds himself slain at the hands of Ai's deluded stalker and subsequently reborn as Ai's child. Aquamarine Hoshino, the glitz and glamour of showbiz, hide the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry. Threatening to dull the shine of his favorite star, can we help his new mother rise to the top of the charts? And what will he do when the unthinkable disaster strikes? That was a summary, but not an isekai, rather in reincarnation. This is an anime unlike one I've ever seen before. I put both like one, both our idols are reincarnates that had an unusual relationship in their previous lives. Now they are both reunited through the connection that once changed everything in their previous life. However, the story takes a drastic turn when his mother is murdered by the same stalker that ended him previously. With only one culprit in mind, his father, he aims to rise up the entertainment industry to seek revenge for his mother and his previous self. The visual art is amazing, especially the eyes in the story. This is a unique and well constructed. The music's even better. This anime is a cut above the rest this week. This season keeps getting better and better, and it's crazy because this isn't one I was originally going to review. This wasn't on my list until Ash from the Sipping for Senpais mentioned this to me, and then I added it on the list. If you go back and review and look at our original list, this anime wasn't on it, but then it got put on it very, very quickly. So this one, I already went back, caught up to the manga, and I can say it was well worth it. I advise y'all to check this one out. It's not on Crunchyroll or Funimation, so you have to. I believe it's on. It's either I believe it's on H Dive, so you have to check it out on H Dive. I believe it's either H Dive or Verve, but it's on one of those sites. You have to check it out through there. The first episode is more like a movie because it's 82 minutes long, but it is worth it. That time goes by quickly. You don't even notice 82 minutes have passed. Let's move on to the rankings, however. The first ranking we're going to do is Ranking of the King's Treasure Chest of Courage. I'm going to place this one in lower B due to the episodes having the potential to cover anything. If this was an actual follow-up to the season rather than side stories, the ranking would increase. I feel B tier is the perfect spot for it because the series is too good to be in C tier, but not enough to be higher than lower B tier. Next, we have the Aristocrats, Otherworldly Adventure, Serving Gods Who Go Too Far. This one will fall into C tier for me. Though the series was entertaining, the plot and the extra story was lacking in other ways, as it fit more into the stereotypical isekai storyline, which is why I caught up to it, because I always enjoy those storylines no matter how many times I see them. But from an objective view, it's going to be in C tier. Next is the Ancient Magus Bride season 2. For me, this will fall into C tier more so because it was good and I can understand the appeal. However, personally for me, it didn't capture me early on. And since we base it off the first 3 episodes, lastly, we have Oshi No Ko. And for this one, I think this was gonna go down at least in consideration for anime of the year. And I'm placing an S tier. I know I mentioned that to some people, and some people were like, no, there's no way you're putting this in S tier. There's no way you're putting this in anime of the year contender. I said, it will be in competition. This is going to be one of the top 10 anime of the year. of 2023. And I can say that for certain that this is going to be a top 10 anime of 2023. And if it's going to be a top 10 one, that's going to put it in contention for anime of the year. And if it's in contention for anime of the year being top 10, it has to be in S tier. But anyways, as we always say here on the Athletes, always remember to respect women. But most importantly, remember to respect yourself. Because simping ain't pimping. And enjoy your anime. And we out.